It's Super Bowl Sunday.
A fun day
For football.
It's the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs
taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Live in Tampa.
And it's also chicken wings.
taking on stuffed jalapeno peppers. So get ready
For the big game.
With a taste of the NFL. It all starts in
10, 9,
8, 7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2, 1.
0. Taste of the NFL begins right now.
I am Alexis Glick, and welcome to Taste of the NFL at Home, and thank you to our incredible students who just joined us. For those of you who don't know me, I am the CEO of Gen Youth. I will be your host today, and boy, oh boy, do we have a great show in store for you. Today, it is all about food, football, and helping our nation's kids. We're going to do that by showing you how to make some great dishes with celebrity chefs Andrew Zimmer, Carla Hall, Tim Love, and Lashita Perry for your Super Bowl game day feast later on today. Plus, a special Chalk Talk hosted by my friend and Gen Youth board member, CBS's James J.B. Brown, featuring the most decorated boxer, male or female, Clarissa Shields, New York Yankee legend Derek Jeter, and two-time Super Bowl champion Peyton Manning about what is behind their hunger to win. Plus, we have some other surprises in store for you. Now, while many of you know our chefs and our world-class athletes, some of you may not be familiar with Gen Youth. 10 years ago, we launched this organization in Dallas at Super Bowl 45. Our mission is simple. It's to create healthier school communities. We do that in partnership with America's dairy farmers and the National Football League. Our flagship program, Fuel It to Play 60, is present in 80% of U.S. public schools and supports 40 million kids daily. Like many of you, when the pandemic hit, we sprang into action, creating a COVID-19 emergency school meal delivery fund to get schools the resources they need to deliver vital meals to the 30 million kids who rely on them daily. The crisis revealed how little our schools have, and we have received well north of 40 million in grant requests for equipment to deliver those meals. That is why we are so proud to now be hosting our first ever Taste of the NFL live virtual experience with you here today at Raymond James Stadium. Taste of the NFL was founded 30 years ago by Wayne Kostrowski. We would not be here today without his support. And Wayne, I hope you're tuning in. Thank you. This is your legacy, and we're excited to carry it forward. In the last 3 decades, Taste of the NFL has teamed up with the country's top chefs, some of the league's greatest players, to raise money for food banks and food insecurity efforts across the country. Today, though, we are here on behalf of our nation's kids, of whom 1 in 4 are battling hunger. The need has never been greater. During parts of today's show, you will see messages asking you to text TASTE to 20222 to make a one-time $25 donation to Gen Youth to help tackle food insecurity across the country. But before we get into the show, I'd like to thank our partners, starting with America's dairy farmers, the National Football League. They've been with us from the very start, and our partners at PepsiCo. PepsiCo has been with us from virtually the start. They've helped us deliver tens of millions of meals, and many of their frontline workers are watching today alongside with teachers, farmers, grocery and plant workers, all of whom get food into our schools, on our tables, and on our plates. You are the frontline workers feeding our nation, and for that we say thank you. Join us today because as you're sitting at home, home gating with these rock star chefs, I would love for you to be a part of it on social. And if you know me, you know social media matters. So hashtag home gating, and you can tag Taste of the NFL at Taste of the NFL. We want you to be all over social media, sharing your recipes. Even if you're making mistakes in the kitchen, I'd be making plenty of mistakes, but we want to have some fun and build awareness at the same time. So speaking of fun, let's start some some fun and get this party started. Joining me today are two of the best chefs in the country. Andrew Zimmer is a celebrity chef and TV personality with award-winning shows like Bizarre Foods. He's also a veteran host and supporter of Taste of the NFL. And we are lucky to have Andrew's great friend, renowned chef and restaurateur Tim Love, who, other than the fact that his Dallas Cowboys are not playing today, he's pretty fired up to be here. So guys, let's kick this up. Let's get going. And let's start with some cocktails. All right, Andrew, what are we doing?
Has to start with a beverage. Everything about your Super Bowl home gating should be kind of over the top. A special drink, big loud food, something that diverts everyone's attention from the TV to the sideboard whenever it hits the table.
Especially if you're on the West Coast and it's 8:30 in the morning, just get the cocktails going. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, you want to have something that the whole family can enjoy. So what I have here is a cocktail called the South Side that you can make family friendly with no booze at all in it, or you can throw a little splash of game day vodka in.
I mean, it is game day.
It is game day.
It's game day.
It's game day. And along with some fresh from Florida citrus, I have some limeade, some fresh lime juice, a little bit of sugar. Let's see if I can coax that into the pan. Freshly squeezed grapefruit.
Tim, have you tasted this before? Has he given this to you before?
I hang out on the South Side, but I've not had the South Side yet.
Yeah, we're the guinea pigs. This is great. I can't wait to get started.
This is the really fun part, right?
What'd you put in there? Some mint?
Mint, basil.
Basil.
A high speed blender will emulsify all of those herbs, so you're not going to get any green things in your teeth. And all I do is I just keep kicking the dial up. Start low. That way your blender doesn't get jammed.
Okay.
That's a good tip because, you know, a lot of people have mojitos. They get all the stuff in their teeth.
Clunk.
Yeah.
Well, also your blender just turns into a non-operational machine.
Oh,
and
wow.
then
this is looking so good.
You can see here, there's no little green bits. The fun of this is pouring it in the dead center of the glass. I've put a little salt on the rim, ladies first.
Thank you very much.
You can give those a little stir, but the action of the frozen puree falling in to the blender or into the cup should be good enough.
Okay, so give it a little stir.
Well, you don't have.
I don't have to. Just okay. Tim gave it to me, and I felt like I want. Oh, so in other words, yeah, get the vodka up to the top.
Here's to feeding hungry children.
Okay, cheers.
Agreed.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers.
Starting it off right. What is it, like 8 o'clock on the West Coast? I like it.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Now, you have to have. You have to have chicken wings.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's delicious.
That's killer.
You've got to have chicken wings on your Super Bowl spread. So I have a pan that I've preheated here, and I'm going to do something that is often referred to as dry frying. I don't need any oil because there's so much fat in the chicken wings, right? So just put them flat skin side down. That's the exterior of the wing, not the interior. And then you're just going to want to get them nice and toasty brown on one side. Once they're nice and toasty brown, you can literally 15 seconds in the pan, and you can smell that aromatic roasted chicken aroma. I mean, it just is unmistakable, and you want that in the final product. We're going to add ginger, fresh squeezed orange juice, star anise and cinnamon. These are fantastic, fantastic herbs used in a lot of Chinese cookery, especially in northern China. Star anise adds that light licorice flavor as well.
So people watching, where do they get those?
Any supermarket carries star anise. It's just, it's on the bottom. Look at the rack where all the little jars are and go to S.
Okay.
Just a lot of people aren't there. Oyster sauce.
S for cinnamon?
C for cinnamon.
Oh, I don't know. You said S. I don't know.
It's S for star anise, C for cinnamon, T for Texas. That's how it works.
Getting good.
Ginger,
One
orange
lesson at a
zest.
time.
Huh?
One lesson at a time.
That's exactly
We're
right.
going to get an education here today, too.
So all we add is our cinnamon, because I can smell that chicken is already browning. I have a nice hot pan down there. So
how
I
long
might
would
as
it
well
stay on the pan? How long would you have it on the pan for?
Probably about a minute to 90 seconds to get a nice little hard sear on there. I'm up on a high temperature and I'm going to lower it to maintain a simmer. And all I'm doing is I'm adding my solid ingredients right now because I don't have to worry. I'm going to add some scallions to here too. I don't have to worry about adding liquid that's going to prevent these from searing anymore. And once the bottom is nice and seared, a little bit of sake and mirin, and a little bit of soy sauce.
So, I mean, Andrew, how did you come up with this recipe?
This is a classic Chinese master sauce that is often, if I had sesame oil in there, it would be called 3-cup chicken. And sometimes I finish this dish with sesame oil, toasted sesame oil. But once I learned how to make this dish in China, I came back and started working on it. I like the orange in there. I like the flavor of chicken fat. I'm a nice Jewish boy from New York. So rather than the sesame oil, what happens here, and chefs are trained, the magic of bouillabaisse is all the olive oil is emulsified into that tomatoey broth. It gives it that silken mouthfeel. With this, you emulsify that chicken fat into the sauce so it doesn't separate, right? So once this...
But they can't actually understand at home right now is how good that smells.
It's pretty powerful. That star anise and that roasted cinnamon.
It really comes out. If you put that in your kitchen at home, if you guys are at home cooking that, you're cooking it right.
It is really, 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 really tasty. And then all you do is pour that sauce out on the plate so you're not spilling everywhere, and mound those wings in the center of the plate, and then you remind everyone in your family, don't eat the cinnamon sticks. The most important part. Now, once people are done with their wings, they're going to be dipping the bread in that sauce. The recipe that is online that people got if they signed up to view the program, or on my website where we have a video of me making these.
And tasteofthenfl.com, you can find it too.
Reminds people that the sauce is one of the reasons you make this. And like many master sauces in Asian cookery, you always make more than what you need, because the next day a half cup of that sauce goes into a stir fry or is glazed on ribs or stuff like that. Now, I turned this off. These are room temperature.
Spectacular.
So I know
it smells divine.
Here's the thing. Tim and I have known each other for like 20 years. So Tim whispers to me, Tim walks, I got here, 5 minutes later, Tim walks here. He's like, I better be eating some of those chicken wings. I'm really hungry.
I didn't fly all the way to Tampa to not eat a chicken wing, I can tell you that.
So a little bit of sauce on there. It is finger food. Let me find one here. Alexis?
One that I can dip right in. I'm standing 6 feet. I'm doing my 6 feet angle here with you guys.
That. Yes, 2 arms lengths with a plate in between.
Okay, I'm being safe.
It's worth pointing out, Andrew, like, because you let them steam like that, like how easy it separates right off.
Perfect.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, and this is the fun thing. You cook them with the lid on for 3-4 minutes, and then take the lid off and let it reduce. And it just creates a melt in your mouth.
It melts in your mouth.
Lean.
I'm leaning.
White pants.
What was I thinking? White pants.
But that's, I mean, all the especially the drummy. The drummy actually has more connective tissue in it than any other piece of white meat on the bird. So you really have to do that steamy thing. There you go.
No.
There you go.
Thank you, my dear.
But that's like great game day food, and the smell when that walks into the room. Usually, you know, along with all the other goodies that you have on game day, there's other stuff that this sauce goes great with. Barbecue being one of them. When I made this recipe, I mean, Tim makes some of the best barbecue in the whole country. And what I kept thinking of is how good that sauce would be on a slice of that brisket when you get there.
Which is probably going to happen later.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
it'll definitely happen later.
So let me just ask a question. This is your most popular recipe.
The 2 recipes that have been the most downloaded at foodandwine.com, on my website, anywhere this is, are my wings and my crab cakes. And that always sort of puzzled me, because I thought it would be the meatloaf or a fried chicken, or something super super accessible. You know, this is a very easy dish to make, but right away you said, hey, star anise, ginger, there's a couple ingredients, mirin. You have to go shopping for that. A lot of people don't have that in the house. I do because I love to cook Asian food. But you really got to want them. We put this recipe on 3 times this week. You've had it on your website, and it just it's insane.
It's unbelievable. So you have a new television show.
Yep.
Family Dinner.
Yep.
On the Magnolia Network.
Correct.
What can we expect?
I travel around the country having dinners with families. I know that sounds.
How'd you come up with the name?
I know that. Well, you know television as well as I do. That was the working title. That the fact that it held through and cleared everything is just a mind bogger to me. But here's the bottom line. It really speaks to why we're all here today with childhood hunger and trying to address that issue. So many people have foregone the family dinner. We've gone, for those of us that are lucky enough to eat, right? And you said before, 1 in 4. Right, are hungry today. So that's only 75% of us. And even then, there's another 20% of Americans have to make a choice. So we have to be very intentional. And one thing we've learned in COVID, you remember the first month is, oh my God, I have to be with my family. Then the second month, they're driving me crazy. And then the third month, I'm leaving my job and I'm never leaving the house. Because we realize that spending time together is of crucial importance. And this show, created before COVID, sort of demonstrates why. And we pick families and cast families that have incredible stories to tell. And we get to cook with 80-year-old grandmothers and learn their secrets, recent immigrants, football players. It's a lot of fun. People are really going to like it.
I can imagine.
Discovery Plus has the shameless plug is airing the first 2 or 3 shows, and then it goes on to the Magnolia app and the network.
Okay, well, we will continue. And also, Andrew was one of the originals with Taste of the NFL, which we'll come back and talk about in a little bit. All right, so you now have 1 recipe under your belt. I hope you guys are having fun home gating. Still ahead, Tim Love is going to show us his dish to make watching the game super. So, imagine sitting down with a world champion boxer, a 5-time winner of the World Series, and one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play in the NFL. Well, given our adherence to social distancing and logistics, it's not an easy thing to pull off. But my friend James Brown of CBS Sports was able to do it virtually for us, and he shares this with you now. JB?
Hey, folks, on this Super Bowl Sunday, I am thrilled to be here, if you will, serving up a real treat for the sports fans on what is the biggest day in sports in the U.S., and, of course, that's the Super Bowl. We're going to have a discussion, and the 3 guests that I have are expert at talking about what it takes to have a real hunger to win. These guys, if you will, the extra ingredient to be successful, not only on the football field, but in the boxing arena or any other sports arena. No one better in terms of the collective 3 that we have here. Let me just read a couple little thumbnails, if you will. For 20 seasons at Yankee Stadium, he was the heart of the Bronx Bombers. During his career, he made 14 All-Star teams, played shortstop on 5 World Championship teams. Now, talk about in the game of life and being successful. He is the CEO of the Miami Marlins. That would be Derek Jeter. Up next, folks, she is the most decorated U.S. boxer ever. That's male or female. A 2-time Olympic gold medal winner, but more impressively, she holds 9 professional boxing titles in 3 divisions. A first for the sport of boxing. Please welcome Miss Clarissa Shields. You're going to love her. And, of course, a guy I know all too well, have huge respect for him. No stranger to the Super Bowl, as a matter of fact, the only starting quarterback in NFL history to win 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. He's also a 5-time league MVP. That will be Mr. Peyton Manning. Hey, thanks to the 3 of you for joining us for this important broadcast.
Thank you, JB.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, thanks for having us.
And maybe I'll start with this first question, which is kind of easy for each of you because clearly you are definitive winners in what you've done in the world of athletics. Now, even in the game of life, more importantly, Peyton can relate to that because my good friend, his former coach and good friend, Tony Dungy, has ensconced that in me, if you will. Talk about, if you will, the road to winning is never easy. And Peyton, let me start with you because I know your work ethic is second to none. I remember my colleague Phil Sims talking about when he went to practices, you had more insight than even the coaches and ran the practices. Where did that come from? Where did you learn that drive?
Well, JB, I think always playing team sports, I always felt like there were a lot of people counting on me to play my role. Your teammates, your coaches, certainly when you get in to pro ball, that's your fans, that's your owner who has drafted you. I always felt that responsibility and accountability to work as hard as I could to do my role because I didn't want to let anybody down. That's the best thing about team sports, that if you're having a tough day, somebody can pick you up. But if they're struggling, you can lift their spirits up. So that's what drove me every day. I had a real passion for it. I used to tell people I would never tell the owners of the Colts or Broncos, but I would have played for free because I love football that much. And obviously my dad taught me at a young age, if you want to be good at something, you have to work very hard at it. So I think those three things kind of instilled in me at a young age, kind of kept me wanting to win. Because if you win, usually those people that I talked about can be happy. And that's what always drove me.
Wow, so you took it personally to be the leader. I saw a smile on both Derek Jeter's face and Clarissa's when you mentioned playing for free. I don't think that was in Derek's vocabulary. But
hey,
Derek,
we all know, hey, look, we all, JD, we don't talk, but we all know Peyton wouldn't have played for free.
Hey, Derek, they would have forced the money on him. Is that right? Hey, Derek, I think back to, it might have been your rookie season when I was blessed to interview you for another sports magazine show. And it's like you almost had this awe and wonder at that stage. Could you have imagined that your career would have turned out like that? The key ingredient for 20 seasons with the iconic baseball team in all of baseball, Derek.
No, I never did. I think, one thing that I always do is I approach it like every single day. I never allowed myself to really sort of enjoy the journey. I mean, talking to family and friends, they tell me at times, look, you got to enjoy this. This is a good time in your life. But for me, I was always, what can I do next? Baseball is a sport you play every single day. And after that game is over, good or bad, you focus on the next game. So I had that everyday approach. And, that allowed me just to focus on the team and how we're going to win. And you worry about, your place in history is something that gets debated when your career is over with. So I never really sat around and allowed myself to think about anything personally. It was all wrapped around how we're going to win on that particular day.
And I see Peyton nodding with that because that's something he internalized throughout his spectacular career as well. Clarissa, what I'm smiling about when you were the one who almost Peyton Manning, like only because I know what his work ethic is like, not just on the football field, but even television commercials, which are some of the best. Look here, I did something with the San Diego Chicken with him before, and one of the race car drivers. I mean, the guy had every line down pat, Derek. So I wanted to be prepared for this. But Clarissa, your background, you told me last night. You said, "Look, I want to get to know you because I'm the only lady on the panel again, but I'm accustomed to that." But you have been impressive in what you've done, as I shared about your boxing career. The sport of the sweet science, and there's nothing sweet about that science.
Yep, you had kind of skipped out right in the middle of your last sentence.
The fact that you decided to pick up boxing, an attractive young lady, I know you grew up in Flint, but why the world of boxing?
I really feel like boxing chose me. My dad was in prison from the time I was 2 till I was 9. And when he got out, one day he was just venting to me and he said, I wish I would have stuck to what I was passionate about. And I was a what, when, why. I asked so many questions and I said, what were you passionate about? And at that time, whatever my dad would have said, I would have did. And when my dad said, I love boxing. I decided that I would box so my dad could live some of his life through me. You know, at the age of 11, women weren't even allowed in the Olympics yet until I was 17. So all the time from the time I was maybe 12 and 13, I started dreaming about the Olympics, and I was fighting and I was training. It's like it was the best thing for me to do. I was in a gym and I was in an environment to where girls could work out. Well, I was the only girl, but I could work out and not be judged. You know, I actually ran track. I played basketball. I played volleyball. And a lot of the girls who were around me would be like, ew, you're sweating. And it's just like, yeah, that's what you do when you work hard. You know, so boxing was a sport that gave me a lot of self-confidence. I was able to defend myself, you know, growing up in the hard streets of Flint. And I just really, I love fighting more than I should. Honestly, it's a passion of mine. Like, anybody can get in the ring with me and anybody can get this work. Like, that's just how I am. Like, I love the sport that much to where now you're making history. I'm the first woman to win an Olympic gold medal ever at 165 pounds. And it's like, once you, kind of like what Derek said, like, once you accomplish something, you don't get to sit back and enjoy it. Like, when you're the person, like, when you're, sorry, I beeped out. Like, when you're the person making the history, like, you don't have time to sit back and say, oh, I'm so great. Oh, look at what I did. You kind of just keep looking forward and you ask yourself, you know, what more can I do? What else can I be great at? And you just kind of keep adding to the resume, and then before you know it, you're a Hall of Famer.
Wow. Hey, you know, as we we've got about 3 or so minutes as we head toward our first break. Your accomplishments, respectively, have been sensational. But let me get something, because each of you are in a leadership capacity. And I'm going to start with Derek first, the man known as the captain for sure. We're in a very different world right now. I do know the three of you to be unifiers. I'm aware of what your charitable activities are, Clarissa, but I'm asking Derek and each of you, in this very challenging environment, one that's pretty divisive, you guys are unifiers. What do you think is very important for us to keep in mind as individuals so that we can truly unify ourselves as a nation? Derek, let me start with you.
Well, I think the first thing is you know, you have to be able to listen. You know, I think a lot of times, you know, people are, you know, they have their own mindsets, their own beliefs, and they're unwilling to listen to other people. And one thing you can do is, you know, I get asked quite a bit about leadership, and I think part of it is you have to get to know the people that you're leading. And, you know, that takes a little bit of time. You don't just walk in a room and say, follow me. I mean, you got to earn the respect of people, and it takes time to get to know them. So I've always prided myself on being a good leader. I've always prided myself on being a good listener. And also, I'm positive and I'm optimistic by nature. I mean, we all come from the world of sports where you're going to fail more than you succeed most of the time, with an exception of Miss Shields there. You know, you're going to fail more than you succeed. And, you know, you got to stay positive in every situation. And I think that becomes infectious, you know, to the people that you're around.
Talk about leadership. Peyton, that certainly sets you up nicely for the same question, sir.
Yeah, JB, just to echo Derek, leadership is not handed to you with a title, right? Just because you're the quarterback, you're the shortstop, you're the president, you're the manager, doesn't make you a leader. You have to earn that mantle of leadership. And to earn that mantle, you have to earn the trust and respect of the people that you are leading. And you can't rush that process. You have to show that you're right in there with them. I totally agree with Derek. Being a good listener, asking lots of questions. Some people view asking questions as a sign of weakness. You know, you don't know all the answers. That's normal. That's okay. Questions wrench open those windows and uncover potential solutions. So I think admitting you don't have all the answers, and like Derek said, listening, asking those questions, that makes you a better leader, makes you a more effective communicator with the people that you're leading. And the last thing I'll say, get to know the people that you are leading. I spent time with my teammates off the field, in their hometowns. You can't talk to everybody the same way. The more you know about them, what makes them tick, what drives them, the more of an effective leader and communicator you can be.
Clarissa, I certainly know of your passion for the Flint, Detroit area. Please think on that answer. We're going to step aside and take a quick time out, and we're going to go to, if you will, our boss, who is Alexis Glick, who is certainly enjoying herself with this taste of the NFL. Let's check in with her now. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you, JB. We're going to hear more from that all-star panel later. Plus, some of our students are going to weigh in on their hunger to win. And Carla Hall is going to whip up a dish guaranteed to score with Chiefs and Bucs fans alike. But first, an important message we'd like you to hear.
Every day, 30 million kids wake up depending on a school meal program for most of their daily nutrition. And when they don't have classes in school that day, they still wake up hungry. Today, there are new ways to get school meals to kids, but it takes new equipment, new resources, new delivery systems, and that means new money. Help us get food to 30 million kids by donating to Gen Youth's Emergency School Meal Delivery Fund. And let's leave hunger parked on the sidelines.
Welcome back to Tampa. We are live just outside of Raymond James Stadium, home to today's Super Bowl and our special, A Taste of the NFL at Home. I'd like to say a special thanks to all of you who are tuning in, my friends at Aries Capital for making today possible. Thrilled to have you guys on board with us. Coming up, we'll hear from Derek Jeter, Clarissa Shields, and Peyton Manning more about their hunger to win. But before we do that, we asked some of our students about what's behind their hunger to win. Here's what they had to say.
What makes me hungry to win is seeing how other people just go for their goals and they just don't give up. And that really inspires me. And I really love that. So I go for my goals too.
The adrenaline in my blood when people clap and applaud for me.
I'm mostly hungry for the win when I can show everybody the hard work that I put in now to be the player that I am, and also when my teammates have my back.
Helping and leading others by setting a good example.
The push to make myself be better than I was the day before and hanging out with teammates.
What makes me hungry to win is the dedication and all the work I put in at that point.
I want to be the best that I could possibly be at what I'm doing because it makes me feel good and proud.
Being successful in life and overall being happy with who I am.
Giving everything I've got to be successful and push myself to be the best version of me.
Wow, just incredible. I love the passion and dedication they have to continue to succeed and to help others. Keep pushing along, guys, and you'll go farther than you ever imagined. Those Fuel Up to Play 60 students, amazing. So now let's head to Nashville, Tennessee to check on my good friend Carla Hall. Carla is an award-winning chef, a cookbook author, and a Gen Youth board member who made her mark in the culinary world as a top chef competitor. Carla, what are you cooking up for us?
Hey Alexis, how are you? You look like you're having a really great time down there in Tampa. I'm so sorry that I can't be there with you, but I am in Nashville, in my hometown, with my mom, and it is just as fun here. I tell you, Super Bowl Sunday is all about the food for me. It's all about nachos and chicken and cheese and food, and more food. So today I am going to take probably one of the things that most people are having, and that is nachos. But I'm going to take Doritos, and I am making a biscuit with Doritos, and then I'm also making a pimento cheese to go in them. Taste of NFL at home into biscuit time! So I have my flour in here, and it's 2.5 cups of flour. And then in here, I have my baking powder, baking soda, salt, a little bit of sugar, and some ground mustard powder. And that's just going to go all in here. Okay? Then I'm going to mix that up. Okay? And now we're going to mix in some shortening. You can use lard if you have it. Couple tablespoons that goes in there. And then what I'm doing here is just pinching. I'm pinching the shortening and then taking my thumb and moving it across my finger, starting with my pinky finger and moving it to the index finger. And I just keep doing that until all of the shortening is mixed in. You don't want to have pea-sized bits of it because it'll give your biscuits kind of a wet texture, and you don't want that. Okay, so you take your handy-dandy grater, and I'm going to put it right in there like that. I have really cold butter. The reason that you need really cold butter is because butter has water in it. And what happens to water when it goes into a hot oven? It creates steam, and that steam gives you the lift. If you have warm butter, what happens to it? It melts, and that gives you something that's very sad. All right, so I'm going to toss the butter into the flour so that if my hands are hot, I have a barrier so that I don't melt the butter. I'm just going to grate my butter halfway first, and I'm going to get it off the grater, and then I'm going to toss this butter so that it doesn't clump up in the flour. All right. Alexis, I hope you're making these with me. When you get to the end of the butter, flatten your hand, because you don't want the tips of your fingers to get cut with the grater. Okay, and I'm just going to get all of that out. Okay. Now I'm going to add in a cup of cheese because, come on. Okay, a cup of cheese. Okay, and now I did not forget about our Doritos. So I'm going to open the bag just a little bit, because if you have air in the bag and you go to smash it, it's going to make a hole. So it's one thing to make a hole when you're doing a pass, but it's another thing to make a hole when you actually have the bag and it goes all around. Okay, just crush, crush. All right, that looks good. I'm going to measure some out. Okay. All right, can I tell you a secret? I've never made these before in my life. This is exclusively for the taste of NFL at home. For you. Okay, I'm going to do 2 in there. All right. Oh my gosh, I hope this is good. I'm going to tell you, watch my face, because my face does not lie. All right, so now we're going to mix these all up. All right. Oh my God, this smells so good. Dude! Okay, I'm going to give myself a dude. Dude, this smells so good. All right, now I have my buttermilk. I get out of the fridge. Okay. Cold buttermilk. I make a little well. And then I'm going to pour the buttermilk into the center of the well. Yep. Oh, shoot. Y'all, I forgot my herbs. I have some oregano. Come on, let's get some oregano and some parsley. If you'd like cilantro, that would be good too. If you want to do dry, that was fine too. And just cut them up. I just like fresh herbs. We're doing all of this cheese, so the fresh herbs are nice. All right, so in there it goes. I'm so glad I remembered that. It's just a nice little bit of green. Okay, so that goes in there like that. And now I'm going to mix everything up. Okay. Now, with this, you will see that I'm not stirring this with reckless abandonment. So what I'm doing is, this is why I want this stiff spatula. I do these little hash marks, almost like you're doing like hashtags, hash, 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 and then you turn it from the bottom. Hash, 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 turn it from the bottom. Okay? All right, now I have my sheet pans. I'm going to spray my sheet pans because I like the bottoms to be crispy, and not a lot, just a little, not a lot of spray. Okay. All right, now you can take a scoop if you have a scoop. I'm at my mom's house. She doesn't have a scoop, so I'm going old school. I'm just going to try to make them all about the same size, and you just keep going until all of the dough is on the sheet pan. All right, y'all. All right, so I'm going to get these in the oven. It is set at 450 degrees. They're going to bake for 15 to 16 minutes, and then while these are baking, we're going to make our pimento cheese. I have here cream cheese. I roasted a red pepper and took the skin off and chopped that up, but you can get something that is already jarred and finished. Mayo, garlic, and cayenne in here. And then I have Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese. I did a sharp cheddar, and then you're going to mix all these ingredients together. I'm just going to put mine into the mixing bowl, okay? So that goes in there. And then I'm going to put the mayo, cayenne, and garlic. That goes in there. Just like a good Southerner, I am making pimento cheese. And the peppers go in here. Okay. Everything basically goes in except for the grated cheese. Okay, moving that aside. A little bit of salt. You don't need a lot of salt because the cheese has salt, but boop. You ready? Let's do this. And you just mix this until everything is smooth, and mainly the cream cheese is all mixed into the mayonnaise. All right, once that's mixed, I just add in my cheese. All right, you hear that? That's the mixer working. Everything looks pretty great. So take my paddle off, take my bowl off. And look, that was, oh, y'all, let me get in here. Oh, they look good. I was like, ah! Ooh, they look so good. All right, you guys, multitasking at its best. The nose smelled my biscuits. It cooks so quickly, so I'm going to put those down onto a little trivet. I'm going to remind you what we're working with. Look at that. Mm! Okay, now I can finish putting the pimento cheese into a bowl. Mm! I should taste it. I should taste it. I'm going to wait. How's it smelling in your house right now? What? Is it smelling good? Okay. All right. Let me get some condiments. I'm going to put some biscuits on a plate. They're nice and, ooh, crunchy. Oh my gosh. Y'all. So, I'm just going to fork it. Look at that. Look at the cheese bits, and you got the Doritos in there. Mmm. Okay, I'm going to take part of a tomato, half of a tomato. Ooh, okay. Some more cheese because, I mean, it's the taste of the NFL. Come on. Okay. Okay, we're going to put that in there. And to break up the cheese, I'm adding a tomato. All right. And then I'm going to put that on there like that. Okay. Okay. I have my nice little sandwich. Mmm. You see that? All right, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. This is the first time ever. Taste of the NFL at home. That's a first. This is a first. We're together for the first time. Maybe. Okay, here we go. Alexis! Girl, this is so good. I'm throwing it back to you because I'm going to finish eating these. It's so good.
Carla, you are so good. I'm so sorry that you weren't here, but I am so happy that you sent me some of those biscuit sandwiches because I want to take a bite. Guys, Andrew's hiding them from me.
Come on.
Okay, I got to take a bite.
What is Carla wearing my glasses for?
She did. I know. I know. You with the green glasses today. I was so impressed.
Okay. I love her pimento cheese. That I've had before.
Oh my goodness. This is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, Carla, you're a dream.
I'll take that.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to continue to eat this. You can find Carla's recipe and all of today's recipes on tasteofthenfl.com. Up next, we're going to hear from our all-star panel of Derek Jeter, Clarissa Shields, and Peyton Manning. That's in 60 seconds, right after this important message.
Help tackle food insecurity in schools by supporting Gen Youth.
Stand by. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to Tampa and a taste of the NFL at home. I want to say a special warm welcome to all of America's dairy farmers across the United States. We would not be here without you, and of course our friends at Schreiber as well. So here's a question for all of you. What goes through the mind of a champion athlete? What is their hunger to win? Let's rejoin CBS's James Brown, Derek Jeter, Clarissa Shields, and Peyton Manning to find out.
Alexis, thank you so very much. I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversation with these three winners here, Peyton Manning, Derek Jeter, and Clarissa Shields. Clarissa, when we left to go to Alexis, we wanted to get your thoughts, especially if you will, and let me simplify it by saying, what does it mean to you to give back, especially trying to strengthen the fabric of your community there in the Flint, Detroit area?
Well, I just think that up in the Flint, Detroit area, like being a leader for me is just speaking up for those who don't want to speak up, those who don't have a voice. You know, I'm not just a trash talker in boxing, but I stand up for a lot as far as in my community. I give back water, I do coat drives, I do turkey drives. And, you know, being a leader is also looking at stuff being bigger than yourself. You know, I don't like try to use the water crisis to help my career or give back coats or turkeys or whatever just to big me. It's more to really help my community and to kind of let all the young kids know that we may be going through a hardship right now, but it gets better. You know, we can all make the right decisions to have a better life. And sometimes when you grow up in dark places, you know, people only feel like it's a dark cloud around. But I always tell them, like, it's always a light at the end of the tunnel. When I was younger, walking through that same tunnel, so I really relate to them. I'm 25, so I'm not, you know, too much older. So I can kind of mingle with the younger kids, and they kind of, you know, see me as being hip, you know, even though I'm 25. But I still just try to talk to them and give the best advice and tell them that, you know, kind of what Derek said, be positive around other people, lift other people up. And then you can kind of build that environment to where people are around you and they want to be around you and they allow you to lead them. Because I'm the leader in women's boxing. I'm the head honcho, right? So I don't give orders. I kind of just speak up for all of us, and stuff that other women won't say, I have to be the one to say it. So sometimes being a leader, you can be the bad guy, bad girl, but you have to embrace that role, and actually people will follow because they want to say what you want to say. They just don't have the heart to do it and say it. So being a leader can kind of go being a good person, or it can go and being the bad guy a little bit. But either or, as long as it gets the job done, it doesn't matter sometimes to me.
Hey, I mean, real quick, that was
Derek.
Peyton, that was a real nice way of her telling us that we were old. Yeah, very nice way. Appreciate it.
Hey, Derek, you're referencing the fact that she said I'm only 25.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, look, I know the comedic wit that Peyton brings to the table, Derek and Clarissa. So I'm glad he's not asking me, hey, JB, where's your gray hair? It's hidden up under this bad boy someplace, rest assured. Hey, Derek, since you started this, let me ask you as well, too, because you certainly have had a heart for people in a very general sense, and no tougher place to be successful, and certainly Peyton knows that with respect to his brother Eli, who played for the New York Giants as well, too. New York is a tough place, but you seem to have been Teflon man there because of your warm, giving, and caring heart. Talk about the kind of things that you felt you needed to do in New York to show your love, the heart that you have for strengthening the fabric of communities?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing, anytime that, you're in this position and you have this platform like we all do, I think you try to improve the lives of others. And, giving back to the community has always been important to me. It's been important to my family. It's important to everyone that's on this call, right? That's the reason why we're here. And I think, everyone has to deal with adversity. Everyone has to deal with failure. We all do. We do it in our careers. You do it in your lives. You have to deal with it. But how are you going to overcome it? You overcome it with the people that are closest to you. And those are the people that are a part of your support group. And you talk about food insecurity for kids. The more people that are here helping out this mission, this cause, the more support these kids are going to get. And we're going to help tackle food insecurity throughout the country.
Hey, Peyton, Derek set you up very nicely for that. But Derek and Clarissa, I want you to see if I'm setting Peyton up before he talks about food insecurity and why this is so important that we all contribute. We often mention the word family. Some people paying lip service to it, but heavens, Derek has got kids now, so I'd love to see that. But Peyton, tell the story about you and Coach Dungy when you were playing, and he wanted to make, I think, Saturdays family days. You weren't a big fan of that until you went to Denver. Let you tell the story from there, sir.
Well, Saturdays is a more casual practice. It's the day before the game in the NFL, so the hay's in the barn. So Coach Dungy always encouraged players and coaches to bring their kids out there. And we're trying to run a play and practice. We got a 7-year-old kind of running right in the middle of the field where the linebackers are. We got a 10-year-old who's coming behind me like he's about to sack me. And I remember just telling him, like, Coach, I don't feel like this is a serious practice. We're not focused. I think we ought to have no kids here. Block it out. It needs to be all business. We got to get ready to play. And fast forward several years later, I'm playing for the Broncos. Ashley and I are blessed with twins, and my kids are coming out there to practice, and they're the ones on the field during that Saturday walkthrough. And I called Coach Dungy and said, hey, that was a good idea. Now I get it. Now I see the point of it. So as Derek said, trying to have that balance in your life with working hard for your profession, your family, and giving back to the community, JB. You can do it all. You have to work hard at each of them. You got to plot time for each of them. But like Derek said, to me, when you play for the Indianapolis Colts or the New York Yankees, part of the job is to give back to that community, to live there, to be a part of it. The fans want to know if you're totally invested, not just on the field and off the field. And food insecurity is such a worthwhile cause to get behind. There's so many great causes out there, but anytime we can help the younger generation, it's well worth our time and our money.
Hey, Clarissa, as I swing it around to you, I was just watching Derek smile when Peyton mentioned about the twins, et cetera. I mean, let me ask this politely. I was trying to ask Harold Reynolds, another baseball player who Derek knows very well, to give me some information on Derek. But I'm seeing the smile when Peyton mentioned his twins. Derek, tell me what it's like. If I'm not mistaken, you've got at least one daughter. Now, what have they taught you? But talk to me about your family.
I have two daughters now. My oldest is 3.5. My youngest is 2. People tell me congratulations. I say, don't congratulate me. Pray for me. I need a lot of help. But I tell you what, it gives me such an appreciation and respect for players that had families and had kids during their career. Me, I was too selfish. And what I mean by that, it was my career came first, and that's what I was focused on. And it's something that I wanted to wait till after my career was over with to have kids. And I tell you what, out of everything that's happened to me in my career, that is by far the number one blessing that I've had is having children of my own and getting an opportunity to see them grow up. And I tell you what, my 2 girls are the best. And, I just look forward to now getting an opportunity to see them have their own dreams and them fulfill their dreams and me be as supportive as I can for them.
Clarissa, as you listen to 2 guys who are just slightly older than you,
yeah, Peyton's got a daughter her age.
Hey, not quite. Hey, Peyton, I really tried to do this right, but Derek is showing you what the locker room was.
Absolutely.
Off limits when it comes to athletes. And Clarissa, I know yours is a solo effort, but you talked about the importance of trainers. So I'm sure you can understand where Peyton and Derek are coming, jousting with each other. But Clarissa, as you listen to these guys and with the responsibility of being a parent, what you like to see them be, when that time comes for you, you're doing it right now for your community. What are you hoping the one lesson will be that you can inspire these kids in Flint and Detroit to be those who give back, especially with respect to hunger in the childhood ages?
I just missed that.
So what is the one lesson you're hoping that you can impart to the kids in Flint and Detroit about giving back, looking out for others?
Yeah, I just hope that I set a great example of that. You know, right now I have a pay-per-view fight March 5th on pay-per-view, and I'm still in my city doing all kind of great things. So I tell all the kids to just, you know, one, do whatever your heart want to do. But as far as in the hunger that goes on, I try to tell people, like, it's okay to give back. It only takes a day of planning and actually a day of going and doing. You know, don't just send money, actually come and show your face, uplift the community. Just be that person who is actually there because it actually means something. You know, we can all, you know, send $1 million, you know, somewhere for help. But I like to tell, you know, it's a lot of athletes who come out of Flint. We got Monte Morris, Kyle Kuzma, so many NFL players. And I tell them, hey, just come back home, you know, spend about an hour, give back, talk to the kids. And yes, we'll be helping the kids with hunger, but also helping keeping them to be positive and make better decisions going forward. So, and also celebrities are good person. You know, people tell us all the time, you know, celebrities are stuck up. We don't like taking pictures. We don't like talking to regular people, and they forget that we are regular people, you know. So that's why I really love to come back to Flint and kind of be there in person, talk to people, give back. And I hope that I'm setting just a great example by doing that, by my example.
Too numerous to name for both Peyton and Derek, but Peyton, give me 30 seconds on the children's hospital that bears your name in Indianapolis and the why behind that.
Well, JB, the thing I miss the most about playing football is being on that team. And now in Chapter 2 for me, I find myself on different teams, and the staff and the nurses, the doctors, the support staff at Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, maybe one of the coolest teams I've been a part of because of the teamwork, working together to help kids get healthy, make their parents feel safer. I find myself competing in philanthropy, trying to raise more money for this cause than we did last year. Like I said, I'm honored to be a part of that team.
Derek, let me give you 30 seconds on that, sir.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like I said before, I think if you're in this position, you have to give back in a positive way. I started a foundation my rookie year in 1996, small family foundation, and you know we've given back over $30 million in New York area, obviously where I used to play, West Michigan where I grew up, and down here in Florida where I live now, and it's for healthy lifestyles, for prevention of drug and alcohol abuse for kids, academic excellence. And we wouldn't have been have this much success as a foundation without all the help and support that we've gotten from a lot of my partners throughout the years.
And we'll return in just a moment to get a take on today's matchup between the Buccaneers and the Chiefs from our all-star panel. But first, let's go back to Taste of the NFL, the home base, and see what Alexis Glick has cooking for us.
Thank you so much, JB. I can't wait to hear the panel's take on today's Super Bowl. But we are cooking up a storm here right outside Raymond James Stadium. If you could smell it right now, it is unbelievable. I am back with Andrew Zimmer and Tim Love. And for Tim, it's all about food and football. They go hand in hand. He is a renowned chef, a restaurateur from football-hungry Texas. And he's here with us right now to show some of his favorite tailgating treats, or for you, home gating. Remember, hashtag home gating as you're cooking alongside with us. But Tim, let's get the cocktail started.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew made a beautiful cocktail, but it has been a little bit. It's been a little bit. So,
we need some booze.
Yeah, so I'm going to put you to work a little bit to squeeze some of these grapefruits. I mean, beautiful grapefruit right now, time of year.
Oh.
We're going to make a paloma, okay? Which is a dove in Spanish, right? That's right. My original restaurant's called Lonesome Dove, 21 years old, just became drinking age this year. Perfect. So why not have a cocktail?
Am I doing this correctly?
I don't know. You haven't done anything yet. There we go.
My parents are laughing right now because I'm really not very good at this.
A little simple syrup. And as soon as Alexis gets there, the grapefruit there you go, squeeze and turn.
So it's
squeeze
ice.
And turn. Ice first.
Yep, simple
and then
syrup.
A little tequila. It's been a rough year, so a little more tequila, you know. And then we've got these grapefruits that she's squeezing right there. Perfect job. I'm very proud of you there.
Okay. You want the second one or no? Okay. And these are
That's a nicely squeezed grapefruit.
Thank you. I did something good. Those are fresh from Florida.
That's right. Then we're going to shake this up a little bit. You know, act like you're cool at home. That's how you do it.
Yep.
Get mixed
Simple syrup is something.
I have to separate you 6 feet.
Super easy to make.
Very simple.
Right?
Hence the name.
But it's water and sugar.
Water and sugar, just melt it down on the stove.
Yep.
And you know what? It's great for iced tea. We drink a lot of iced tea in Texas. So if you like sweet tea, make yourself some simple syrups. You're not stirring the sugar up all the time.
And so that's what that is.
Yes, and most people, if you're going to do one thing to change your drink game, do that.
Right. Make yourself easy now.
So easy.
So this is just grapefruit, tequila. Then we're going to add a little bit of lime. A little hack for the lime here. Instead of making normal wedges on limes like most people do like this, you know, and cut them in half, trim the edge of the lime like this. Get a side like that. You get a lot more juice out of your lime when you put it like that. So see how it just squeezes out real nice there?
Oh, that looks
now,
great.
Andrew, I didn't put any alcohol in yours because you don't like it so much. And then we top it off with a little bit of sparkling water to give it a little zip.
Okay.
If I drink, I break out in SWAT teams.
I've seen it happen. No, I haven't. Thank goodness. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Palomas.
Happy game day.
Happy game day.
You guys
Yes.
are awesome.
6
Cheers.
feet.
Okay, here we go.
6 feet.
6 feet. We're moving back. 6
Delicious.
feet.
Okay.
Ooh.
So we're going to do some stuff now. It's refreshing.
It's the grapefruit.
Yeah.
It's the grapefruit.
The tequila. My husband would like this.
So we're doing stuffed jalapenos. Very simple.
Okay.
First, we're going to roast the jalapenos. So I got a raw jalapeno here. You can do these on the grill. If you have a stove with flames, you can just put them right on the flames. Another way to do it is put a little, like a cookie rack, a stainless cookie rack, and they'll sit right on top of the flames, or a cast iron skillet like I'm doing here.
Okay.
I like to put a little bit of peanut oil, gives a nice roasty flavor, and a little bit of salt. This also helps the skins peel later on. So we roast them just like this, and we get a nice char. See here?
Wow, you can hear that. You can hear it roasting.
Right. Then we put them into a bowl like this and wrap them up to steam. So by steaming them, this also loosens up the skin. See there how it wrinkles up?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So it just makes it so much softer.
So then you come back and the skins peel right off. This releases all the oil for the chili. This is a nice, beautiful flavor. It makes it easier to work with than a raw chili. So we just peel them like that.
And the idea there is just it's going to be easier when you slice it. And
Well, when you roast these chilies, like I said, it brings the oils out, so it gives a much better flavor than using a raw chili. And then you don't want the skin in your teeth, kind of like we did with the basil, right? So you can get a rag also, and it pulls the skin off like that.
Notice he's not using water, so you
Right.
still have that charred flavor on the flesh.
Yep.
Yeah, when people say peel chilies, they'll put them under water because it makes it easier because it sticks to your, and you ruin the whole effect. You take the oil off the chili.
So no water. That's a
water.
no-no.
That's right.
Okay.
Come back, peel them. If you don't like your hands to get all spicy, put some gloves on if you like. I've done this a bunch, so I'm used to it.
Some people just hit a paper towel or something, just wipe
to wipe it off.
But kind of like this.
But the charred flavor, the blackened part of the flesh is
really good.
That's what you want.
Yeah. So is this like Tim, is this one of the, Tim, you got 14 restaurants. Is this one of the go-tos?
Well, this is one of my game day go-tos. So let me explain something to you. So on game day, if you have brisket and queso and you live in Texas, you're going to be just fine. It doesn't matter how you combine them. It doesn't matter. You can put them in a cocktail. People will be happy. They come
Even
over,
if the Cowboys are not
queso,
doing well, you're
brisket,
good with
cocktails.
this.
They're like, yes.
Okay, done.
But instead, we're going to make a dish with it. So.
All right, we got about 4.5 minutes, so keep us going
so
here.
split them open like this.
And your son's a football player.
He is. Plays football at Texas. So I'm going to show you how we do one of these here.
Okay.
So we get it open like that. Now we're going to take some brisket, which I've already chopped up.
Okay.
And if you live in Texas, you have leftover queso in their house all the time. But if you don't, you can go buy this.
Okay.
Tostitos.
Put a little Tostitos
a little
in
queso
there.
like that.
Ooh,
and then we mix in a little barbecue sauce. Okay? We mix all that up. Then, looky here. You just need to get it slightly warm in case the queso is cold. We're stuff it in here like this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. If that doesn't say football, I don't know what does. And just because there's not enough in there.
Yeah, just because I need a little extra.
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
It's Sunday.
Let's go deep.
So we wrap them up nice like this. Look at that.
Oh.
Put them on a tray with a toothpick, and then we bake them. And then this is the part where everybody goes, ooh, ah.
Oh. We're waiting with bated breath.
Cue the audience.
Oh man. This looks amazing.
This is the best part of the show.
This is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
I mean, come on now.
So with your 2 daughters and son at home, is this like one of the fan favorites at home?
Look, like I said, we're opening a restaurant soon that has a queso menu.
Really?
Is that true?
Tableside queso menu.
But what, you asked a question, though, that I think is really important. Like, do the kids like it? Tim's house is like my house. Noah literally thinks it's a restaurant, so he says, tonight, can we have like, whatever his favorite thing is?
Well, that's the beauty of having you two as parents.
So now we can't forget the bean dip in the middle.
I just want to be clear, guys, that if you don't know this, that Tim wakes up in the morning and does yoga, and that's because we got to get our heart moving after we eat
That's
this.
because I eat this every day. This is real simple. Bush's grilling beans, a little bit of chicken stock, puree it.
These are the Bush's baked beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season with whatever you want.
Whatever. In fact, they're pretty well seasoned.
Yeah.
You don't really. You can add a little salt. I like to add a little cilantro to it. A little bear mixer right there.
Oh wow.
That's it. Bean dip. How about that?
And so you just dip it in.
Dip it in. Let's go.
Just pick it up. Like, are we good?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
This is the filthy special. That's it. That's it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Spicy and tasty.
That's football.
That is,
That's why you gotta have the paloma.
this is a first.
That
This is very
so
good. This is, yeah, I mean, wow. You really,
That is
like,
so good.
you know, touchdown. I give you a touchdown for this. This is pretty good. This is amazing.
Taste that chili?
Yeah, you can.
It's delicious. The flavor of the jalapeno comes out when you roast them.
Oh my goodness.
This makes you drink the cocktail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, actually, right? Okay, let me take a sip of the cocktail.
Take a sip.
That is, oh my God.
So
okay.
it's a simple dish, really is.
So
you gotta make the brisket first, right?
How long does that take?
Well, that one takes about 8.5 hours.
It takes about 30 seconds. You just go to the woodshed and order it.
You can do that too. You can go to the woodshed and order it.
Yeah,
they have it there.
That's what I
got
do.
brisket there. In fact, we're gonna take this brisket and trim it up and dip it in your sauce.
Can I ask you a question quickly before we go to the next segment? You own 14 restaurants. Restaurants are really hurting.
Yes.
How are you dealing with it? What are you doing to keep your people incentivized and working?
We were one of the first people to open. We opened all 14 of our restaurants on the day that we could open back as safely as possible. I wrote the COVID playbook for our state and our city. Very safety forward, but the thing that we can do is get people back to work as safely as possible. I think that's going to give people a lot of energy, right? That's why we formed the Independent Restaurant Coalition. We've been fighting for that. I went and fought the president to get more time on the PPP. We're doing everything we can as a group and individually. And Andrew's involved in it. All we can do is just keep doing things as safe as we can and get people back to work. It's really, then we can feed more people.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you one thing. Leaders like Tim, I fully spend in COVID 30-40% of our time trying to help our states and our national programs and feed hungry kids. I mean, that's just there's so much work to be done. And as chefs and business owners, we're at the intersection of health and immigration and job rights and equality and social justice issues in food, farming, ag. It all comes through a restaurant.
You guys are amazing. I mean, honestly, two of the most unbelievable people. Okay. These recipes have been amazing. Okay, so now, thank you to the two of you guys. You guys can keep drinking and eating. Okay, now we're gonna move to a little bit of dessert. So, Chef Lashita Perry is a lover of all things sweet and a creative force in the kitchen. She is an award-winning pastry chef and the winner of Food Network's Sweet Genius. She's taken us right into her kitchen. Chef?
Hi, everyone. I'm delighted to join Gen Youth and Taste of the NFL from Los Angeles, the home of next year's Super Bowl. I grew up eating brownie ice cream sandwiches. So when I was thinking of this dessert, I'm like, okay, what flavor ice cream do I want it to be? And rum raisin came to mind since I'm using Ocean Spray, Craisins, dried cranberries. I'm like, okay, let's replace those raisins with the cranberries. Instead of rum, let's use Grand Marnier because cranberries and orange is like the classic combination. Craisin dried cranberries are not just a snack, they're versatile too. You're probably wondering, Lashita, what is a semifreddo? A semifreddo is a very popular Italian dessert. It means half frozen. It has the texture of a mousse meets an ice cream. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and sandwich them. We have our brownies, we have our semifreddos. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of brownie because in order to make a sandwich, you need a top and a bottom, correct? And I'm just going to place them right on top, making sure that the flat side is the top and the bottom. Then I just place it onto my board, press it down a little bit. And you just repeat this process until all of the semifreddos and brownies have been used up. Perfect. And now all we have to do is just garnish them so that they look like footballs. I have some white chocolate here that I melted. And now I'm just going to make my football marks. Another cool option is to add an edible image. And I actually have one here that's Taste of NFL as well as Gen Youth. I thought that was a super cute touch. I just printed that on some edible paper and glued it to some Motto and chocolate. And then I'm literally just going to place them right on top of the sandwiches. Or you can do a combination of both. And just like that, we made these delicious cranberry Grand Marnier semifreddo sandwiches. Thank you so much for joining Gen Youth and Taste of the NFL today. I look forward to seeing you all next year right here in Los Angeles for Super Bowl 56. Enjoy the game tonight, and back to you, Alexis.
Thank you so much, Lashita, and we're looking forward to eating some of those treats and more next year when we see you in Los Angeles at Super Bowl 56. You can find her recipes and all of today's recipes at tasteofthenfl.com. Don't forget #homegating and tag Taste of the NFL. Share with us on social media. More Taste of the NFL after this message.
Help tackle food insecurity in schools by supporting Gen Youth. To donate, visit genyouthnow.org.
Welcome back to Taste of the NFL at Home, and a quick word of thank you to my friends at SAP and RBC Capital for their incredible support. We are thrilled to have all of you with us today. Well, we've talked a lot about the challenges of food insecurity and the importance of children staying active today. Now I'm joined by someone who carries out those missions every day, even though she's only 10 years old. Amaya Brannon is this year's NFL Play 60 ambassador, winning the NFL Super 60 contest that is part of NFL Play 60, an initiative to encourage healthy eating habits and physical activity among children. And she's a member of one of our programs, Fuel Up to Play 60. Wonderful to have you here. Oh my goodness, what is this like for you? You've been here all Super Bowl week. You've been talking to quarterbacks and celebrities and on television. I mean, are you just in awe and shock of what's happening?
Yeah, when I won the competition, me and my family just thought we were just going to get tickets from the Super Bowl. But then all this happened. I was on GMA, I was at the Films crew, I interviewed Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Mahomes. It's just a relief, and it's an awesome experience to be in.
You are 10 years old. You're in 4th grade. I have an 8-year-old at home, and I can't imagine what this is like. Have you been intimidated at all? Has anyone scared you, or who surprised you the most?
Well, especially Tom Brady and Gronkowski and Patrick Mahomes surprised me because I never knew I was going to be able to talk to them. Again, I just thought I was going to the Super Bowl. I did not know any of this was happening. I had no clue.
Oh, what a great surprise. And tell folks, what is your role in today's game?
My role in today's game is that I get to toss the ball for the third half.
Are you nervous? Are you a little bit nervous or no?
I'm not nervous at all.
No? So what are you telling all your friends and family and classmates at home? Is everybody calling you and emailing and texting, and what are you telling everybody?
Well, all my friends are cheering me on, and I'm really glad I have friends like them because they really help me a lot, and it's just, I'm really excited that I got to be in this position and that all my friends at home are cheering me on.
What does it mean when you think about the importance of eating healthy and being active, and you're the face and ambassador of that? Why is that so important to you?
It's important because if you stay healthy and active, you can achieve great goals in life, and that's what most people want.
That's absolutely right. So just between us, who was your favorite guy that you talked to? Which of the NFL players was your favorite?
Oh, geez. I'm just going to say all of them. They have very good personalities, and all of them show good sportsmanship, whether they lose or not. So I'm just glad I got to talk to all of them.
I think the next thing you should do is maybe consider running for president, because she's a great politician. Okay, Amaya, last thing before we go. If you guys didn't know this, she's from Tampa, but I'm just wondering, who are you picking today?
The Bucks.
You are. And how much do you think the Bucks are going to win by?
I think maybe by 1 or something. I think it might be a close call. I think they'll be close. But I've been a Bucks fan ever since I've been to the game against the Chiefs from last season, and I didn't even know any of the players. I didn't know Tom Brady. I didn't know Gronkowski. Nothing. I just liked them because they were my first football game team I've ever been to. So I'm just really glad, and I think even though the Chiefs kicked their butts last game, I think they can come back.
All right, let's see if they do that. Amaya, you are wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Good luck today. We're going to be watching you on the field, and thank you for all that you're doing. We love that you're part of Fuel Up to Play 60. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, of course she rooted for her home team. Now let's check back in with James Brown to get our all-star panel's take on today's Super Bowl.
Okay, folks, we're back here for the final segment of this Taste of the NFL. Our theme, of course, is this: a hunger to win. And as big a winners as each of these guys are, surely they've got some thoughts about today's outstanding matchup that we at CBS are going to be thrilled to be hosting. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, first NFL team ever to play a Super Bowl on their home field, taking on Patrick Mahomes and the young guy. Oh, my goodness. And he is really something sensational. And he's going to be going against a 43-year-old. That would be none other than Tom Brady. Clarissa, your thoughts, who's going to win and why?
Got to roll with the GOAT. I got to roll with Tom Brady. He's been around for a while. And every team he goes to, he either makes it to the Super Bowl or he wins the Super Bowl. The fact that he can go to a new team and take them all the way to the Super Bowl, it wasn't just him, but he can bring that winning energy. I feel like Tom Brady's going to bring it home.
Wow. Look here, we need to have you as a guest on the show. That was as succinct and clear as possible. Derek Jeter, the captain, your thoughts.
And you're not setting me up for any predictions here. Look, I love Tom. Obviously, he's a Michigan man. Big fan of his throughout his entire career. Patrick Mahomes, I faced his father. So I've seen Patrick since he was younger. So, I mean, you're looking at someone there that's going to have a long and hopefully successful and healthy career. But you're not putting me on the spot here. This is Peyton's job. I don't know enough about football.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Peyton, did you see him wink as he threw it to you? Go ahead.
I mean, I think Derek is really just recusing himself because he's providing room and board to one of the quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, right? That's just, it's probably
Very
not
true.
fair for him to make predictions since he's providing lodging for Tom Brady. JB, it's going to be an awesome matchup. It's the two best teams playing in the Super Bowl, and it's kind of the old school versus the new school. Tom has done it for so long, and like Clarissa said, to go to a new team in a pandemic-shortened offseason and to form a bond with his teammates and coaches, that tells you everything about his work ethic. He's going to be ready to go. Playing in their home stadium, that's going to be tough to beat. But Kansas City, they were there last year. Pat Mahomes is the most exciting player in the NFL. Saw him play in person 2 weeks ago when they played the Browns. They are fun to watch. They're going to be ready to go. It's going to be a great game. I'm not going to give a prediction because I have so much respect for both of those quarterbacks and those coaches, but it should be a great Super Bowl.
Hey, Clarissa and Peyton, can we say, by the way, look, Harold Reynolds would have my neck. Can we say congratulations to Derek Jeter getting in the Baseball Hall of Fame? 397 voters. I don't know who the one was who's gone undercover that didn't vote for him, but congratulations, Derek Jeter.
Thank you.
Congrats, bud.
Derek, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
I'm pretty sure the one voter was probably a Red Sox fan or a Red Sox voter. Right, JB. That's pretty safe.
Hey, Peyton, better for you to have said it than me. Clarissa, Derek, Peyton, thank each of you so very much. We appreciate it. And more importantly, what you're doing in the game of life in a Hall of Fame career, contributing to the success of others. God bless each of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, JB. Thank you, Clarissa. See you, Derek.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys.
This has been a fun and meaningful conversation with my guests. Big thanks to them, Clarissa Shields, Derek Jeter, and Peyton Manning, for this special conversation. And of course, I hope to be seeing many of you on CBS in just a little bit as we commence our pregame coverage on the NFL Today. But for right now, let me turn it back over to my friend, Alexis Glick.
Thank you so much, JB. Such great insights there. It was such a pleasure to listen to you guys. Peyton Manning, Clarissa Shields, Derek Jeter, thank you for joining us on today's program. And Peyton, congratulations on your Hall of Fame nomination. Up next, one of the NFL's most popular quarterbacks joins the chefs and me for Super Bowl lunch you can make every day. But first, an important message about food insecurity.
Every day, 30 million kids wake up depending on a school meal program for most of their daily nutrition. And when they don't have classes in school that day, they still wake up hungry. Today, there are new ways to get school meals to kids, but it takes new equipment, new resources, new delivery systems, and that means new money. Help us get food to 30 million kids by donating to Gen Youth's Emergency School Meal Delivery Fund. And let's leave hunger parked on the sidelines.
Welcome back. We are about 6 hours from kickoff for the Super Bowl, but we still have plenty more for you right here at Taste of the NFL. So in addition to two chefs who can call the plays in the kitchen, Andrew Zimmer and Tim Love, we're now joined by someone who really knows how to call the plays on the field. A veteran of 16 seasons, including 2 seasons right here at Raymond James Stadium. We welcome Ryan Fitzpatrick to Taste of the NFL. Hey, Ryan.
Oh, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. You know, if you guys probably know him from being this quarterback and doing amazing things on the field, but you're also a father of 7. So I give you enormous credit in the pandemic world, what it's been like, I'm sure, taking care of those kids.
Yeah, it's been very crazy, and we've got 6 kids in public school, and so, you know, making sure we're doing all the checks and making sure everybody's following all the protocols, but things have been great. You know, it's been challenging for everybody, but we're still having a good time.
So, you know, you played in 8 different
Yep.
teams, right? I've heard that Buffalo was your favorite. Was it because of the chicken wings?
The chicken wings were a big part of it, yes.
Until you had Andrews.
Well, when we talked about this and you mentioned food, I was in. You know, whatever it was, as long as we were going to try some food.
Yeah,
that's what I'm all about.
You're all in.
So you played here for 2 years. Give me a sense, what's it like being a part of this program, and are you kind of subliminally rooting for them today or not?
I've got some mixed feelings today. So I have a lot of former teammates. The coaching staff is new, but the GM, Jason Light, was there, who's a good friend of mine. The coaches, I don't know a whole lot of them, but these players, so many of them former teammates that I love and I'm really rooting for. I've also played in the AFC East for 8 years of my career, and so the quarterback, you know, I went against him quite a bit, and you're never really fond of somebody that beats you up all the time. So I am rooting for Tampa today. Very excited about it.
You are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get going. Let's start cooking, because we are now going to make some deli sandwiches. You can go over here with Andrew.
Beautiful.
These are premium deli meat sandwiches from our friends at Kreshmar, which is a part of Smithfield Foods. Oh, by the way, thank you to our friends at Smithfield's. They are supporting the delivery of 3 million meals because of this.
Whoa.
Okay, so, which is huge, huge. Okay, let's talk about the sandwiches, the deli meats. Tim, you start. Which one are you doing?
Well, I'm going to use a little bit of the roast beef here, and I'm going to make a bit of a mayonnaise with a little basil, cilantro, and some pickles. This kind of gives a really refreshing flavor to it, like this, and a little bit of those roasted jalapenos that I roasted earlier. So I'm going to mix all that up. Like this.
And like Ryan, tell me, right, with the 7 kids at home, I got 4, you have 1, you have 3. I mean, you know, some premium, good old-fashioned deli meats that we can make some kids some sandwiches. This is about the perfect lunch.
Cheating.
You're cheating.
Yes.
What are you cooking? What kind of sandwich are you making over there?
What I wanted to do is I wanted to do a football sub, because it's toss me that.
Oh wow! Here we go.
Oh, the quarterback sneak.
I got a maid sandwich.
With bacon on it?
Oh my goodness gracious me! What's happening here? Oh my goodness!
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. One of the great things about cooking is that you get to sometimes make sandwiches with some of your favorite players, and I've been a big fan of Ryan's for a long time. Won me a lot of fantasy dough, I gotta be honest.
Thank you.
Look at that. Wow.
But what I wanted
impressed.
to do is I wanted to do something toasted, right? I mean, you want to do a wow on the Super Bowl cutting board. So I'm doing caramelized onions, Swiss cheese, tomato, ham, and it's these caramelized that you like Tim's roasted peppers. You cannot go wrong.
Wait. I want to steal some of that ham. Can you give me some of that ham?
Then cheese.
Yeah. Oh my God. This
Wonderful.
is like,
Ryan,
I'm
don't
excited.
let up.
Okay.
Put
All
more
right.
cheese on top of that.
Oh, of course. Well, let me.
You got
let's
2
don't
pieces?
Oh my God. Oh my
cheat
God.
the
This
cheese
is so
here.
good. Okay, let me taste
We're not
yours.
going to cheese cheat.
Now look.
What?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Mine's so good it doesn't need any cheese. I just use the meat.
Oh my goodness.
I just use the meat. Look at that, with the bacon around it.
Oh my God.
Come on.
No, of course.
I don't need any cheese.
Okay,
The only cheese that you use is in queso.
That's right.
Drizzle a little olive oil on that.
I just want to say, Kreshmar, I'm in love.
guessing
The meats are amazing.
Just
Okay,
a
hold
quick
on.
little drizzle here.
Got it.
Okay,
Look,
wonderful.
hey, look, I know you Fitzmagic.
drizzling
I know you make the magic. I know you make the magic Fitz, but I'm just saying you might want to try that out.
The bacon.
You might wanna try that out.
Oh my
Am
God.
I allowed to try the
No, you're
competition?
supposed to. You're judging this thing. Did you use your own brisket?
Wait, is
I
this
did
a
not put the
competition?
brisket,
All right,
that's-
give me your ham
Why do I-
sandwich.
why do I
I'm
use
gonna
a
go with
brisket?
you.
I got
You're
sauce
taking
and
little
meat.
bites. I'm going with the big.
Oh, go big. Go big or
Yes.
go home.
Let's go.
Go. Oh my God. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Do I? Oh,
So good he can't even talk.
I can't
It's
pick
so
your
good he
boob.
can't even speak.
So good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen, I mean,
Tim,
wow.
don't you want
Okay.
something crispy,
Who are you-
warm, and crusty?
I do.
I've lost control of the show. Okay, who are you picking?
I got to go for Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I'm sorry.
We know you're Tampa Bay.
I'm Kansas City. I'm Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And you know, the Texas
Oh.
Tech kid. I got to root for him.
Do I hear any applause for Tampa Bay? There's no one around here. It's just us. Okay, I'm taking my big glass of milk right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, this was just amazing. You guys are phenomenal. I want to thank all of our partners. First and foremost, I want to thank our friends at PepsiCo. Thank you for being a part of this from day one. Stephen, couldn't have done this without you. As I mentioned earlier, America's Dairy Farmers, the National Football League, our chefs here in Tampa with us. Tim, Andrew, you guys are amazing. I mean, I can't say enough amazing things about these souls. From day one, when we said we're going to go do this in Tampa outside the stadium, they were all in. They care about kids. They care about it from their heart. Carla and Lashita, I know you were remote. Thank you so much for joining us. The athletes, the extraordinary athletes, my great friend James Brown, I'm going to be tuning in to you today. Derek Jeter, Clarissa Shields, Peyton Manning. Wow, that was one of the best chalk talks I have ever seen in my career. And our ingredients friends, Ocean Spray, Bush's Baked Beans, Kreshmar from the Smithfield family. Thank you guys so much. And all of my family and friends. I just want to finally say, this takes a village. The number of people have been a part of this, I can't thank you enough. Brian Donlin, all the guys behind the camera, my team at Gen Youth, all of this is about kids. At the end of the day, we have to remember no one in this country deserves to go hungry. Please support us in any way that you can. And thank you for being a part of the first ever Taste of the NFL at Home. We will see you next year in LA. Have a great game day. Enjoy, guys. Thank you.